Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, my Lord, spiritual and temporal, it is my pleasure and singular honor to invite to the podium to deliver address our Vice Chancellor, Professor Adenike Temidayo Oladiji. A round of applause for Madam Vice Chancellor.
Thank you. Distinguished Senator Jimoh Ibrahim, OFR, CON. I heard somebody call him about the whole world. Other distinguished senators here present, our Pro-Chancellor and Chairman Governing Council, Senator Professor Dame Nora Ladi-Dadut, distinguished members of the Governing Council of FUTA, Deputy Vice Chancellors, both academic and development, other principal officers of the university, top government functionaries, deans and directors, distinguished members of Senate, Congregation and Convocation of FUTA, chairman and members of FUTA Akure Community Partnership Forum, the national president and members of FUTA alumni worldwide, friends of the university, distinguished invited guests, members of staff and students, gentlemen of the press, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, great Futarians. Great Futarians. Now I'm sure you are with me. It is with much delight that I welcome everyone to this event today, the 2024 Foundation Day Lecture of our dear university, the best university of technology in Nigeria. I welcome with utmost regard our guest lecturer, distinguished Senator Jimoh Ibrahim, and all the distinguished senators here present. I recognize with due reverence Senator Professor Dame Nora Ladi-Dadut, the Pro-Chancellor and Chairman of FUTA Governing Council, and all the distinguished members of our Governing Council. I welcome with delight all the friends of FUTA and the staff and students here present. One of the features of universities worldwide is the culture of debates and lectures. FUTA not being an exemption, as this culture deeply entrenched in its operations. One of the lectures is the Foundation Day Lecture, which commemorates the day the foundation of the university was laid. It is a special day in the life of the university, and for that reason, it is officially commemorated with the deserved attention and pomp. Most importantly, this ceremony is explored to inject more life into the critical relationship between the town and the gown, which has boundless possibilities and benefits. The university, over the years, has been selecting the speakers for the all-important ceremony based on well-guided criteria. The speakers have been eminent scholars, industrialists, and public office holders of high integrity. Generally, they are special and cerebral patriots who are keen about transforming our society through the instrumentality of tertiary education. Some of our past guest lecturers include Chief Afe Babalola, OON and SAN, Senator Professor Robert Ajayi Borofis, OON, Malam Nasir El-Rufai, OFR, Ambassador Aminu Wali, MNI, Dr. Akinwumi Adeshina, the current President, African Development Bank, and Professor Jacob Kehinde Olupona from Harvard University in the USA, to mention but a few. It is in keeping with this tradition that the university has carefully sought out the guest speaker of today, distinguished Senator Dr. Jimoh Ibrahim, about the whole world. Sufficient time will be spent to reel out the impressive profile of this exemplary scholar educationist, businessman, lawyer, politician, and community leader very shortly. Distinguished Senator Ibrahim will deliver today's Foundation Day lecture on the topic, Abandoned Mega Projects in Nigeria. Any respite from Nigeria universities? And some people will say it is $1 million question. From this number alone, we can see one of the several reasons for the biting economic stagnation, low national productivity, and plummeting value of the naira. We can all imagine the drastic transformation that our nation would undergo if these projects had been up and running. FUTA is endowed with a rich faculty to play a significant role in changing the uninspiring narrative of abandoned projects in Nigeria. We have the School of Engineering and Engineering Technology with programs such as civil engineering, mechanical engineering, industrial and production engineering, among others. We also have the School of Environmental Technology, where architecture, building, quantity surveying, and estate management are domiciled. And also the School of Logistics and Innovation Technology, where we have project management technology and other programs. The aforementioned schools and several others in the university make remarkable contributions in the fields of agriculture, computing, medicine, and other activities that are central to life and living in the 21st century. Our guest lecturer of today is more than able to do justice to this reverting topic based on his rich background in economics, business, law, and politics. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I do not intend to stand between you and the guest lecturer. I therefore wish to welcome you sincerely to this lecture and wish that everyone will have a strong take-home from this lecture. Thank you.
I'd like to invite my colleague to read the citation of the guest lecturer, Mrs. Okwade.
Senator Dr. Jimoh Folorunsho Ibrahim, OFR, CFR, is an embodiment of the greatness thrust upon him by Providence. He is a renowned lawyer, politician, businessman, investor, philanthropist, and a distinguished senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, representing Ondo South Senatorial District. He is the chairman and chief executive officer of Global Fleet Group, a diversified conglomerate based in Nigeria, with business interests and subsidiaries in neighboring West African countries and the United Kingdom. Senator Dr. Jimoh Ibrahim is an astute investor who has investments in several industries, such as oil and gas, telecommunication, hospitality, banking, aviation, real estate, insurance, publishing, and media, among others. A proud Ikale son of Igbotako extraction in Okitipupa local government area in Ondo State, Senator Ibrahim was born on the 24th of February 1967 to the family of Alhaji Yakubu. He showed signs of brilliance from the cradle all the way through his primary and secondary school education at Community Grammar School Igbotako and Federal School of Arts and Science Ondo. He then proceeded to study law at the prestigious Obafemi Awolowo University in Ile-Ife, Osun State, where he obtained his first degree in law. He was called to the Nigerian bar as solicitor and advocate of the Supreme Court of Nigeria. He went further to obtain a master's in public administration with distinction from the same institution. Driven by the passion to attain academic and professional excellence, he subsequently attended Harvard University in Cambridge, Massachusetts, United States of America, where he graduated with a combined Master of Law and Masters in International Taxation degrees. A cerebral persona, he holds a PhD in Management Science from the University of Cambridge, United Kingdom, and recently graduated with another PhD in Modern War Studies from University of Buckingham, where he did his thesis on Boko Haram and military challenges. Dr. Ibrahim is an alumnus of 3 of the world's best universities: Oxford University, Cambridge University, and Harvard University in the United States. He emerged the first Doctor of Business of the University of Cambridge, the first to have gotten such academic honor of the university in the 800-year history of the Ivory Tower. In all, this prodigious scholar has 9 university degrees and is an international author. His thesis has been published by Macmillan with over 7,000 copies sold and mega projects. Due to his brilliance and top-notch expertise in tax matters, tax reforms and administration, as well as financial management, he was appointed Chief Executive Consultant to the federal government on petroleum tax payment, collection, and monitoring. He became member, Federation Account Allocation Committee, and was appointed Chairman, Special Committee on Federation Accounts. Barrister Jimoh Ibrahim has served as a consultant to the International Monetary Fund on tax reforms in Croatia and Lithuania, consultant to the federal government on value-added tax, and was a part of the Harvard team that backed the tax reforms in Bangladesh. He was also at the time the head of the Nigerian delegation to the United Nations Conference on Governance and Public Administration in Hong Kong in 1994. In 2009, he was appointed Chairman, Corporate Affairs Commission, Abuja. In quick succession, different governments in Nigeria honored Senator Ibrahim with the national honor of the Order of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, OFR, and with the Commander of the Order of the Federal Republic, CFR. Dr. Jimoh Ibrahim, in a bid to replicate the global standard universities he attended overseas in his homestead of Igbotako, is constructing at present a world-class university, Fortune University, on a 150 hectares expanse of land. The university, when commissioned, will commence with 4 schools, namely Faculty of Medical and Biological Sciences, Faculty of Law, and Faculties of Management and Business. The university already boasts of 98 buildings, with 71 already in respective completion stages. Senator Ibrahim, CFR, has contributed immensely to the development of Ondo State through the distribution of enviable patronage for students, youths, women emancipation, sports development, and lots more. A very revered prophet with honor in his home, he was singled out in his Ikale homestead to be honored with the traditional title of the Araba of Ikale land in recognition of his selfless service to humanity. Senator Jimoh Ibrahim is the Chairman, Senate Committee on Interparliamentary Worldwide, and also Vice Chairman, Senate Committee on Gas. He is happily married, and the union is blessed with children who are doing well in their respective endeavors. Highly esteemed ladies and gentlemen, Senator Dr. Jimoh Folorunsho Ibrahim, OFR, CFR, presenting the 2024 Foundation Day Lecture of the Federal University of Technology, Akure. Thank you.
You may be seated. Thank you. The Pro-Chancellor of the Federal University of Technology, Akure, Madam Vice-Chancellor of our great university, Federal University of Technology, Akure, very distinguished professors, member of council, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, let me stand on the existing protocol already established by Madam Vice-Chancellor. My great pleasure to be here today to deliver the foundation lecture. This is very significant. And one of the very lectures that I will deliver after my conferment of the Doctor of Business from University of Cambridge. Since my graduation, today is the first time that I will be in the canter with my academic role. And I most sincerely thank Madam Vice Chancellor and the University Council Committee of Dean for giving the opportunity to do what I know how to do best, and for inviting me back to the best community in the world, the academic community. Let me sincerely thank the university for the efforts they are putting in place in ensuring that we have a very beautiful campus. And I must say clearly that I am very proud of the lecturers from this university. The professors are as well equipped and highly brilliant, just like my professors in Oxford and Harvard. I must celebrate all of you. I would say that I must also thank the professors and the lecturers for keeping hope alive. Because when we left the university 35 years ago, we left with 1 degree. We are what we are. But you stay back, distill knowledge into the people, despite the ecosystem challenges. And I must thank you and say thank you and thank you once again. Let me also bring greetings from the President of the Senate, who incidentally couldn't be here, but I can assure you is listening to us right now, and the 10th Senate, entire 109 senators of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, who are in various parts of the world for their holiday at this time. They send their greetings to Madam Vice Chancellor, and we do hope you will accept their seasonal greetings. The Senate is also making efforts about abandoned projects. As the Senate President has set up a committee in respect of abandoned projects, and I think the committee is working assiduously very hard. Now, let's come to the business of today after the preliminaries. I'm here to deliver a lecture on abandoned federal government projects in Nigeria. Any respite from the university, and the university community is seated here. Any solution from any of you? The lecture is already printed by the university. I offer the Vice Chancellor my desire to print the lecture and come over with the copies. The Vice Chancellor politely rejected the offer and opted to print it by herself. And I must thank you for that. That's academic integrity. A lot is expected of me this afternoon or this morning. Having obtained 9 university degrees from Cambridge, Oxford, and Harvard, and London School of Economics, much is expected that I will be able to say something about these important projects. I'm also appreciate my colleagues who are online right now from the University of Oxford listening to this lecture in respect of a mega project, particularly the class of 2017. Now, Madam Vice Chancellor, permit me to start with the lecture. This lecture is divided into 3 parts. I can virtually speak off-head because I wrote the lectures myself, and there will be no need for me to read word for word from the paper so that you can understand what I'm saying. What is mega project? A mega project is a project that is above 100 billion naira at conceptualization. A project in which government or individual intend to spend 100 billion naira. That is what is called mega. In developing countries, in a developed economy, a mega project is defined as a project in which government or individual intend to spend $1 billion US. So with this type of amount to be spent on a project, we define the project as mega. It's not a project about building petrol station. No, that is ordinary project. Or renovation of vice chancellor office. No, that is ordinary project. Or construction of 1 kilometer road. No. So the skill you require to build very small projects is quite different from the skill you require in building 100 billion naira project. For committing $1 billion into a particular project. For example, President Ahmed Bola Tinubu had just said that he will be spending $1 billion US in building the southern roads. So, I mean, the road across the south that goes straight to the north. Several kilometers of roads. And that is a mega project. The skill you require in delivering this project to completion and success is quite different from the skill you require in construction of a road within the university campus. So the distinction between very small projects and mega projects. Mega is mega. Now, if you successfully complete a mega project, then a lot of people will benefit from that project. It will increase your gross domestic product, and then, of course, your economy overall, human condition will be improved in your country. Imagine that we start the southern roads and we complete and spend $1 billion. See the transformation that will give us in a given economy. So in this lecture, the introductory part talked about mega projects, how it starts and what it's all about. Now, why is it significant for the university lecture to center on abandoned mega projects this year? It is very important because 3 abandoned mega projects in Nigeria is 60% of Nigeria debts. 3. There are 11,883 mega projects abandoned by the federal government since 1960 to the present day. 3 of such projects is 60% of what Nigeria owes to the international community in time of debt. Let me give you one example. Ajaokuta is a project in which government has spent about $10 billion. And they have been constructing this factory or company in the last 42 years. They are still on site constructing. No one knows delivery date of this project. But a whopping sum of $10 billion have been spent on this project. When President Tinubu assumed office, Nigeria was owing $77 billion. If you take Ajaokuta $10 billion away, it probably represents several percentage of national debts. So you will see how significant and how difficult mega project could be. It's something very big, something that the nation wants to be proud of, something that the nation wants to build with pride. But it is very difficult to deliver one, and it can destroy the entire economy when one is not delivered, like Ajaokuta. Why do I say this? Nigeria spent 25% of the cash budget on importation of steel. Every building you build like this one, 30% of the content of this building is iron and steel. Now, the demand for iron and steel is growing every other day, but we don't have a factory that produces this. So the government of Obasanjo then thought we should have a Jakarta to manufacture steel for the growing population so that we can reduce our import dependence. The project was to cost $675 million, but now we have spent $10 billion and the project is nowhere to be found. So we couldn't get the project because we couldn't deliver the project right now. Another project, apart from Ajaokuta, Nigeria decided to build satellite 1 in the orbit, and 2. One of the 2 got lost. A whopping sum of $500 million was spent, and then it's lost. We don't have insurance company to pay back what was lost. This is another great challenge. If you add that to the $10 billion on Jakarta, you know what it gives you. Now, let's look at another project, P. I'm sure some time ago when President Jonathan was Nigeria president, you are aware of P. We spent $4.5 billion on P. No one knows the address of P today. If I have to take Uber and I say, take me to P head office, they don't know. So $4.5 billion spent on one project that doesn't have an address 10 years after. This is mega projects. We can go on and on. Now let's look at some cross studies on this. If Nigeria's situation is embarrassing to you, what will you say about United States of America? A big project in which the U.S. want to deposit nuclear weapons that were wasted was put in California before the administration of President Barack Obama. The U.S. government spent 12 billion naira in digging the soil, the land. They started digging it, evacuating it so that they can store the wasted nuclear materials there. It cost $12 billion to dig ordinary hole in the U.S. After the $12 billion was spent, Obama came and they presented additional budgets for damages, rights, those people who were there, claims and all that. It went to $68 billion. Obama paid $68 billion and ordered that they should fill the ground back, the hole, they should fill it back. So they return all the debris back to the hole and fill the land back so that we can find the hole, we can find the project, we can find the land, $68 billion gone. You might be very ambitious to build a very big project like the mega project, but you might discover that you can't find the project. The more you look about mega projects, the less you see. That is not all. In China, for example, the 111-story building, which the Guinness Book of Records now classify as the most unoccupied building in the world, was built by the Chinese government. A whopping sum of $28 billion was spent. Nobody occupies the building right now. I think it's time to show some. That is another project there where China was. That is the building. You see the building? This building, no one is there. Nobody's living there. Now, this is what mega projects looks like. You see, that is the building where they started construction. But you can't find anybody there. Just at the middle of the project, you can't find anything. And there was no project. So you can see that. That is the building. That is 117-story building in China. They couldn't complete it. There are about 38 of these projects, I can tell you, that China spent close to $500 billion, and they are nowhere to be found. You see the dollar is just being burned there. So you can see very big projects, it doesn't happen. We have dams. that we spend money on and you can't find those projects. If we find those projects, there will be no unemployment problem. If these projects are completed, you won't find any unemployment problem in Nigeria. Imagine you have a Jakuta. Imagine you have the 11,866 abandoned projects half completed. There will be no poverty in Nigeria. I don't need to tell you that. Ghanaians will come and work here. If you can complete even 10% of the 11,886 projects, that is another city that China wanted to build. They took it from Paris. They spent a lot of billions of dollars. Nobody is inside that project. Thank you very much for showing that. Those are a few ones that I prepared for this lecture. Now, what is the problem? What's the problem? Why are we burning billions and billions of dollars and we cannot complete? Mega project is transformational indeed, but they are difficult to actualize. There is something you must take away from this class today, which I call the iron law of mega projects. So you are going to tell your colleagues, because that is the only thing I want to achieve before I leave this lecture, that you're going to take it home. Just 3 lines. The problem with mega projects is cost overrun. What do I call it? Schedule delay. What do I call it? And benefit shortfall over and over again. When you want to spend a huge sum of $1 billion on a project, you cannot know how much this project will eventually cost. So you're going to run with cost overrun. And it's something that is endemic with mega projects. What can cause cost overrun? Inflation, economic system, ecosystem management, environment, change in government, change in financial policy, and many things like that can cause your cost overrun. When a friend of mine, a brother of mine, someone I'm very proud of, Aliko Dangote, wanted to start his refinery, he probably thought he would spend $6 billion. It went to $12 billion. It went to $18 billion. It went to $20 billion. Even before commissioning of the projects, it can go to $50 billion. That is mega project for you. You keep having cost overrun. When we started at Jakuta, we said we would spend $675 million. Obasanjo got this money ready with the Russia Exim Bank. The money was available. Money was never a problem. But from $675 million, we have spent $10 billion. We haven't been able to commission the projects. Cost overrun has gone several hundreds of percentage, and you cannot find the project. It just disappeared. I must congratulate FUTA. You'll be the first university in Africa to talk about mega projects. This is the first time a university in Africa is talking about mega projects and its challenges. Now, when you have cost overrun, which can be caused by inflation, when Bola Ahmed Tinubu took over the government of Nigeria and it was enthusiastic in making impact, I was a bit laughing in my bedroom. Laughing because I saw a sincere man who wanted to work, but maybe he didn't realize that GDP to debt ratio of the entire world is 265%. The world was overborrowed by 165% of her worth. What is GDP? The activities that take place in the domestic economy per year, the worth of Nigeria. So the worth of the world was overspent by 165%. So you will see problem in Ghana, problem in Nigeria, riots in Lagos, riots in London, riots in America, over and over again. This singular act have capacity of multiplying the cost of a mega project by several thousand percentage. So if you don't think about this before you run to build one mega project, then you might end up not commissioning a mega project. Now, we understand this cost overrun. The second one, which I told you, is schedule delay. Okay, you think you will commission this project next year, but here we are. The project is not ready for commissioning even in 5 years. And you will keep explaining every day why you are not commissioning the project. Let's look at Nigeria refinery in Port Harcourt and Kaduna. In January, they said, during Buhari administration, they were sleeping. Now, in January, they said they will open in February. We were waiting. February, they said it's April. We were waiting. April, they said it's May. We were waiting. May, they said it's August. Here is August. We haven't found a liter, a barrel of oil being refined in Kaduna and Port Harcourt. This is the problem with mega projects. Is the praxis and the taxonomy of mega projects with cost overrun and schedule delays. Now, if you have the same thing with my brother's company, Dangote, we will get fuel for you in January. No. Or shifted to March. No. Or shifted to July. No. Shifted to August. We are waiting. It's not his problem. It is mega project problem that you have is characterized with a lot of schedule delays and cost overrun. The last one is benefit shortfall. If you finish Ajaokuta, what do you expect? You will expect that you will produce steel, you could export to another country, and you could create employment and create revenue. But if you cannot deliver Ajaokuta after spending $10 billion, then of course you have no benefits. It means you spent $10 billion and you didn't have any single benefit from spending $10 billion. You just burned $10 billion. We need to see the problem before I attack the solution and conclude my paper. This is the problem with mega projects. So when a comment comes and say, I will do this, I will do that, again, there are problems here because mega projects are difficult to deliver. It is also not the case that the world has not delivered one successful mega project. There are several. Lagos-Ibadan Express Road is a mega project, was delivered. The Babangida administration delivered Third Mainland Bridge. I interviewed Babangida on this, and he told me the project cost $1 billion then. And I said, what is the magic by this delivery? And he told me very clearly, he said, Ibrahim, all I did was to ask the contractor, how much will this project cost? And he said, $1 billion. And I asked them, write a check of $1 billion. And that is how the project was delivered. So mega project has its own dynamic problem. Imagine the benefit in Third Mainland Bridge today. Assuming there is no Third Mainland Bridge being built, what will traffic look like in Lagos? That is one example of mega project that was successfully delivered. So in this paper, I've gone out to ask people what they think about mega projects. We are now in part 2 of our paper. Why do you think that this project failed? Why do you think that we cannot deliver these projects? I asked 34 questions, and then of course we do some bit of econometrics to see that each of these questions we ask are variables that were distilled into the survey questions. And of course you can see the result of those questions that we asked. The variables are completely not talking about impacts on why this project failed or why mega project failed. And when the variables of 34 of them were not significantly communicating, all I have to do, again, was to group them and do what we call, in academics, this side of the table, factorial analysis, and see that more variables that are similar are put together and see what the level of impact of independent variable on the dependable variable. And we saw growing impacts. That makes us to be able to identify, very interestingly, about 4 reasons why a mega project fails. This is the first work at the University of Cambridge since 1209, and this is the first degree to be awarded on mega projects centering on Nigeria. So even if I talk from here till next year, except for a liberal like you, It might be difficult to understand what I'm saying because this is the first major work or mega project. I will just wrap the factors that you have to look at where you are dealing with cost overruns, schedule delay, and then, of course, the benefit shortfall over and over again. Conceptualization of the project. At the initial stage where you think this is the project you want to do, then you have to take away political issues. Because at that stage, you might not even do it if you do proper work and many other reasons, which I think you will find in this paper. In this same paper, I've used Ajaokuta as a case study. Why the project failed? What will drive Ajaokuta when it's successfully completed is iron oil. We have this in Itakpe junction. And of course, in Itakpe, we have it at 30% of the requirements of Ajaokuta. Meaning that when the factory becomes operational, you are going to import 70% of iron oil across the world to complement with the local iron oil of 30% available to make the factory to be functional. That's another problem of mega project. When it's successfully completed, 10% of them cannot be operational. When you successfully complete a mega project, the rule is that 10% of church projects will not function. They are completed but not functioning. I have it in some of the YouTube, which you will get. A road constructed in China after spending $50 billion on some, burial ground. And then, of course, nobody liked that road because they say it's road to hell. People have multiple accidents when they go on that road. That's another mega project. Road completed, no users. So in Ajaokuta, if Ajaokuta is successfully completed without iron oil, you cannot operate that factory. And this is very, very big problem. And if you are to import iron oil, I can tell you clearly that that will be element of foreign exchange. And as the dollar move from 1,000 to 1,500, the price of iron oil move by that 1,000 to 500, and then the part of the end production of the steel also go by that magnitude. And should anything happen, it goes beyond that, so also the prices of iron goes up in that magnitude. So if you know this is your problem, at the environmental impact analysis stage, which I think Professor Adejugbe will tell you more about, you will know that you don't need to go into that project at all, and you could stop at that stage. You could read the lecture for more detailed understanding of that. Because I'll be going to the part 3 and conclude the lecture. Mega projects are quite interesting, but they are difficult to achieve. So I wonder sometimes when I see mega projects in government budgets, it's just simply adding to the abandoned project list. But I have also my PhD dissertation on this subject from the University of Cambridge, has been published by Macmillan. And this is an international book. A copy is £37. You can see over 7,000 copies have been sold on how mega projects are damaging Nigeria and how to fix it. So this is my PhD dissertation from Cambridge, already published. From here, you will find a lot of solutions relating to the problem that I've identified. And I will be presenting this copy, I will say joyfully, not painfully, because business people are interested about profit making. But academics share knowledge for free. So I'll be presenting this free copy to Madam Vice Chancellor for free. So you will not say that business people don't give anything for free. You will see my 4 years work on that, and it's on the internet all over the place. It has been accepted now as Google Scholar Book. Read it, and you see some of the solution there. Part 3 of today's lecture, which is the last part of our lecture. we have to now look at some conclusions here and any respite from the university. We have 11,886 abandoned projects, mega projects in Nigeria. Any respite from the university. President Bola Tinubu in his inaugural lecture have said that he will complete some of the projects, and I believe him. So if he decides to complete just 4 of the projects, then the living condition of Nigeria will improve. You won't need palliative if you complete Ajakuta. No need for any palliative at all, because a lot of people will get employment, and then of course you can even export the steel outside Nigeria to earn foreign exchange. Building a bitumen development corporation, for example, is a mega project, but mega project with enormous benefits. Having said that, what the university generally, we all know what university is all about. But let me say clearly that this accusation is not about Nigerian university alone. All over the world, the only university that offers a degree or mega project is the University of Oxford at master's level. In the entire world, not even University of Cambridge. My degree was the first to be awarded at doctorate level, at the University of Cambridge on mega projects. Only Oxford. Now, this is the problem. The world spent $9 trillion on mega project yearly. The entire world spent $9 trillion on mega project only. This is 9% of the entire GDP of the world. Nigeria is accessing no $1 on this $9 trillion. How can our government access from this $9 trillion that the world blow on mega project every year if we have mega project to complete? If we borrow significantly to complete mega projects, if we list priority of the mega project that we need to complete. The National Library is another abandoned mega project. In Abuja, you pass through that every day. Look at the scenario of the National Library. After the billions that the government has spent, the contractor was to complete the mega project. So they called the contractor and he gave a bill of $198 million to complete. Government of Buhari offered $98 million to the contractor. The contractor rejected. The contractor made a claim to the equipment he left on site 20 years ago for $46 million. So he has an agreement with the federal government that he signed that any equipment left on site due to abandonment, government will be paying rental ratio on the equipment. The amount now is over $60 million to be paid first. Otherwise, if the government award that contract to another contractor, the former contractor will go to court and stop him unless he gets his letter from federal government. To complete that project, you need about $375 billion. I asked President Jonathan, when I was doing this book, I asked him, why? What is happening here? And he told me, Jim, when I came in, I called for the file of the National Library. And they brought the file, and I told them, what is the problem? They said it's going to 13-story floor, and we are now on the 4th floor. Jonathan said, please go and roof this National Library at the 4th floor, the way it is, so that we can complete it. They said, thank you, sir. They went and did the estimates. What they brought for the roofing of the National Library at the 4th floor is more than the cost of taking it to 13 floors. So Jonathan just hands off. You say that the problem of Nigeria, some of you discuss on your social media, Nigeria problem is because the northerners are carrying cows to come and eat in the south, they disrupt peace. That is not the problem. The north and the south have been living together for several years without any problems. I said there, maybe you need to take this home for the first time. From my work, Nigeria has no name at all. From 1400 to 1914, there was no name called Nigeria. It was Lord Lugard's girlfriend that gave the name Nigeria in 1914. We don't have any name, but we are operating together. The problem why the cattle rearer have to bring their cattle here to eat is because the Hadija irrigation project in the north failed. It's another mega project abandoned. Even though Olusegun Obasanjo completed the one in Kanji, if you complete the one in Hadija today, you have irrigation, water goes to the green comes out, the cow will eat their green there, they will never come to your place in Ondo and the kitchen. But as long as Hadija is becoming an abandoned project down there, the green doesn't come out, and this is the major occupation. Let me tell you from my study, poverty ratio in Borno is 75%. Poverty ratio in Ekiti is 16%. In the same nation that we have federation. I'm not blaming anybody for it. I'm just giving quotations and data. In academics, this is what we live by, of what is happening as a national problem. The disaster of not completing mega project is like killing a human being. We need to get this project completed. Madam Vice Chancellor, it's a great day today, and I'm happy to distill knowledge about mega projects to this audience and the university. Now, the last question here, any respite from the university? What can the university do to save us from this embarrassment of abandoned projects? Number one, no university is doing any program or degree, BSc, project management and infrastructural development. No university. For the first time, I am proud that FUTA Akure is setting up, or they have now, a department of project development. Every year in the Senate, we do approve capital projects, but no university is doing any degree relating to project management and development. So where do you get the skill that will protect this project? President Buhari has spent billions of dollars on the project that was almost completed by Project Jonathan. That is railway projects from Kaduna to Kano to Abuja. But where are the people that will manage these projects? If our university, those universities in Nigeria is doing BSc rail project management. Yet Nigeria is spending a lot of money significantly on capital projects. Madam Vice Chancellor, this is a challenge to you and your colleagues. Why is it that we don't have BSc on rail management so that when the student finishes that BSc, they will be employed straight away by our railways and all the roads that we have constructed, all the rail projects that we have spent billions of dollars completing. Secondly, no university in Nigeria is awarding degree on mega projects. We have 11,886 mega projects abandoned in Nigeria, but no university in Nigeria is doing any degree on mega project and infrastructure development. So somebody studied law. I the chairman of infrastructure construction. What is he going to do with that? Somebody who studied geography is the chairman of project management. How? Every government department have a project management department, but no university is awarded a degree in respect of mega projects in Nigeria. From where do you think you get the knowledge of cost overrun, schedule delay, benefit shortfall, over and over again? I expect you to be singing that now as a song. Let me repeat it. Cost overrun, schedule delays, benefit shortfall, over and over again. How do you... Okay, now the problem is this. We have the Ministry of... Ministry of Works. They have Department of Works, Department of Engineering, Roads, Bridges. None of them in that ministry have a degree on mega projects. From the director to the officer, nobody have a degree on mega project. In fact, none of them have degree on project management and infrastructural control. And this is very, very sad. And they are going to spend several trillions of naira working on the roads. So every time they had to call Julius Berger to come and work on it, award the contract to Julius Berger, because that is where they can find the skill. As good as JB is, they are relatively unknown in Germany, where they come from. So, the first thing I'll be leaving with you in Futa to the academic community is to see how we can start to review our curriculum to make sure that we have courses like mega project and infrastructural development. If we have 10,000 graduates today and we put them on 11,000 projects, it will be one project, one graduate per project. Completely insignificant. Our degrees must be relevant to our development. That is one point that I want to make. The University of Oxford offers a master's degree in mega projects, and all members of the cohort, since that project has started, are all fully employed. The minimum a graduate who holds a master's degree in mega project collects is, the last count I did, the minimum offer you can get in Dubai is $500,000 per year. Salary, including one brand new car and your official accommodation. And you start as an officer in charge of project. If you get to Dubai, you see a lot of big buildings, over there. They need experts in mega projects. You can even export university graduates from Nigeria to Dubai to help them look after those big projects that they are doing, despite the fact that a lot of them will work in Nigeria. There are 36 states in Nigeria. There are 36 commissioners for works. None of them have a degree on project management or mega project development. None. There are directors in the Ministry of Works in the 36 ministries in Nigeria. None of them have a degree in mega project or project management or cost overrun or whatever it is. Completely. The university curriculum significantly neglected this area of importance and is central to Nigeria development. A lot President Tinubu can do, but what can he do when there are no people to manage projects that were initiated by the government? Who can drive them to the successful stage? The Minister for Works will soon finish his time and go. He has initiated several projects. Who run these projects? There are no skilled from the university to run this project. Hadija project in the north will not have been an abandoned project if we have skill to manage church projects. So it's very important that we develop the skill and the knowledge of mega projects with our university. Secondly, universities should collaborate with each other. Professors should be given grants by the federal government, and I'll push this one with the Senate President when I return. We must identify specific professors who are interested, set them for a crash program for 9 months, they come back and teach the students, and then of course we can have our mega project completed on time. Now, government don't even know how to access funds about mega projects. Like I told you, $9 trillion is there to be used for mega projects, but Nigeria is not accessing $1 single of the $9 trillion. So we have a problem here because the funds are there, and if you don't access it, other countries will come and spend this amount of money on their projects. Why mega project is very important and good? I want to advise clearly that Nigeria have zero skill in confronting mega projects. Zero skill. Zero skill. And if you don't have the skill, what will you do? When I finished a master's degree from University of Oxford, if I was taught to do anything at all, at least I will earn a minimum of $500,000 a year as salary. If our master students from here, from Futa, can be aligned to these mega projects points across the world, I think our life will be better. I challenge the university community to wake up to all important program called mega project and infrastructure development and do something. And let our young ones, the students, let them channel their brains towards mega project development. How do we eliminate cost overrun, schedule delays, and benefit shortfall? A lot you can do, Madam Vice Chancellor. I look forward to see your matriculating master students very soon on mega projects and infrastructural development. I can tell you their school fees can be paid directly by a link that I will give to you. They don't have to pay a penny because there are many industries that really want to develop mega projects, across the world. The Boko Haram crisis is a mega project. A crisis that moved from one state to another. We have been on it now for 22 years. We are not able to resolve it because nobody is using knowledge of mega projects to solve the Boko Haram crisis. The poverty issues in Nigeria, where we are distributing palliatives. Palliative distribution and what it costs is a mega project. You want to give palliative to how many people? 20 million people. That is mega projects. What palliative are you releasing to the states? You are giving the states as much as 570 billion naira for palliative. That is a mega project. Who is distributing these palliatives? They will easily fail if there are no enough knowledge to back up the mega project. I did PhD in modern warfare or war studies. I can tell you that everything that has to do with security is a mega project. Managing Nigeria police is a mega project because police are about 300,000 policemen in Nigeria. To manage them is mega projects. Those who will manage them need the knowledge of mega projects. Mega project is not limited to construction alone. Mega project is about something that is big. How do we manage it such that benefit shortfall will not happen? When the federal government gives palliative to the citizen, and some people rebag the palliative and take it to the market to sell, that is failure of a mega project. University must respond to this. If you don't bring scholars and develop people who can manage government palliative, government have a very good intention. Here is palliative to reduce poverty. But the challenge we have here is that the palliative may not get to the right people that need to get it because people handling it are no mega project experts. They don't know nothing about mega projects and it will fail. And it has been failing from Dubai to China to everywhere. The only thing is that there is minimal failure. So therefore, we must, I'm doing this to provoke the professors and the vice chancellor, to do something urgently. At the proposed University of Fortune, we have decided to start from day one, BSc program on mega project and infrastructural development. When the university is fully accredited by NUC, none of our students can be looking for a job. How can you have a BSc mega project and infrastructural development and you are looking for a job? You should get a job in year 3 and be posted to the company you are interested in, because every department of government, you have mega projects. We can do executive program as a bridge between the reality of a degree and the urgent needs of the society. So if we set off Center for Mega Project Development in the university, Madam Vice Chancellor, that might be better. Who are the participants? Because I get worried when people say university doesn't have money. Who's supposed to be in charge of money? The universities. Who's supposed to be the richest people in the world? The professors. Tomorrow wealth is seated in the hand of academia. There will be no accidental billionaire again. I can tell you that. Knowledge will drive wealth. So let me give you one single example of how you can make multi-billion for this university. I'm doing that out of your very exciting way of welcoming us and your very incredible superlative approach to human dignity. Madam Vice Chancellor, I'm very impressed about you. And I just have to give this to you and the university. When you set up the Center for Mega Projects, who are the participants that come for the courses? See, in the Ministry of Works, 36 in the Federation, as when you invite four directors, deputy director, assistant director, and director in charge of works to understand mega projects, and you just charge 100,000, multiply 4 by 36, and a class of 1 week, how much comes to your pockets? And you said there is no money. Government should bring the money. When you finish that, you do cost overrun courses and how to manage it in ministries. For several ministries, 36 states of the Federation, and the number of participants, you make the money. They go with the knowledge, they return the money back to you as a university to do your work. The government have no business in funding university, the courses are abundant. Before I go, what is innovation? Innovation is problem-solving skills. When you have an innovation, you have a problem, then you design how to solve the problem. That is the meaning of innovation. And what you are doing with Mega Project Center is to solve innovative problems, to create innovation to government programs. I am not talking about private program now. Look at banks. Some banks have 20 branches, 100 branches. That's a mega project. How do you handle all these branches to subjects? Some have 4,000 workers, 5,000 workers. That is mega projects. So there is enough to do in this regard. Courses to be taught. 1, introduction to mega projects. Take them around all the mega projects that we have around. Take them for government policies. We have many in this Tinubu administration, and a lot of mega projects over there. Then look at the risk management, module 2, module 3, designs. So why should mega project fail? Because of one design or error or the other? We have many mega projects that have collapsed just because of design problem. So teach them design there. Module 4, leadership of mega projects. I consult for one of the big projects in UK, and they are to build locomotives to take people from Paddington to central London and the rest. I don't want to say much about that, but it's a project that will cost $817 million, but we have spent 18 billion pounds on that project to date. We have not completely delivered it. That's a mega project. A friend of mine, and that is why we need to develop our children, particularly these master students. A friend of mine in Oxford wrote his thesis on congestion in England, in central London. The problem the government was facing in central London was congestion. So at the time, they said if your number plate has an odd number, you can come to central London. Government was just in crisis in UK about congestion. Somebody came to do masters in mega project for 9 months in Oxford, and he wrote his paper on how to solve the problem of congestion, traffic congestion in central London. You know his solution? A master student? He said, don't worry yourself. We will define jurisdiction area where you can enter in central London with your car. If you go above that area, you pay a fine. £20 per car. So if I drive straight to central London and I'm not supposed to enter central London, no crime, but just pay government £20. You know how much the government now call him, the master student call him, come and have a meeting with us. How much do you want to collect for this thesis? We want to buy the thesis. He charged them £100 million without taxes. They pay him £100 million, and he said he has no business with academics in his life. With £100 million, he's made. But he's a fool, a foolish man. Because if I were in his case, I will charge per what government make on the charges they are giving to the public. He came back to Cambridge the following year to come and give us a lecture. And he said, he's getting mad. I said, why are you getting mad? Government will make 20 billion pounds or 20 million pounds in a year. If he knows he will have charged 20% of 20 million pounds, fantastic. Government makes 1 billion pounds in the congestion charges, he will have just charged 10% of whatever government makes forever until he dies. Till today, government is making several millions of pounds sterling monthly using this guy thesis to pay a fine if you bring your car to central London in order to discongest traffic from central London. But they are giving you one payoff of 100 million pounds. Now they make several million, hundreds of millions every year. Our Nigerian students are brilliant, they can do times 10 of that. Let our teachers show us the roads. Let government help our teachers to know the roads and encourage them to develop more. This is one thing you can gain from mega project, just one lecture. Finally, I don't want to give more than that. If there is need to give more than that later, Madam Vice Chancellor will get in touch on phone and discuss. Should you be ready today to send the first 10 people to Oxford to do mega projects crash program for just 6 months, 10 professors? If Oxford will charge you just 6 months program, they will do that crash program. They will come back here and teach people and start awarding master's degree to the master's students. I will give you massive support to realize that. If you bring this proposal before the Senate, I know if there is anything, you can say many things about Akure that is bad. But one thing you cannot take away from Akure is its love for education and knowledge. If you bring this to the Senate, I will walk you to the Senate President office, and I can tell you in less than 20 minutes we'll be done with solution in your hand back to Akure. Give us 10 professors. Just said, Mr. Senate President, I'm sending 10 professors to Oxford. I will link you to make sure that Oxford accepts the 10 of them. They will design a crash program for them for 6 months. I will make that possible in 1 week. And they will go there, they will learn the whole thing and come back here and come and start teaching the students. And then you will have collaboration between you and Oxford on Mega Project MSc program. And then you will have now solved our problem massively in Nigeria. And other universities can copy from you. And that will be quite good. Lastly, I've said very beautiful things about academics, but the major problem our academia are facing, maybe it's ecosystem problem or challenges. The quality of research is very poor. Why should a professor complain of funding? Why should a professor not have an international publication? Why? Because the methodology approach to learning is very poor in Nigeria. Madam Vice Chancellor, I offered this to Ife before, and the Dean of Postgraduate Studies from University of Ife is here. If two of you can collaborate, set up a center for methodology. It is when your methodology is good that your research paper can talk. If your methodology is not good, you cannot find anything. You just do your master's and PhD and you have empty degrees. PhD students must be asked to write exams in their first 1 year. They should do rigorous studies on methodology. It is not enough for a PhD student to come to the professor and say, what methodology approach are you using? He says, oh, I will combine survey with interview. I use a mixed method. Okay, fine. Tell me other method available that you are not using, so that I can know that it's not that you don't want to use them, you know them. A law student does not know experimental science. He has been a PhD student, a PhD thesis in law, maybe jurisprudence. He has defended the thesis. It's out there, no job, because he cannot talk, and the PhD cannot talk. I told you in the single book that we look at variables, 36 of them. And each of these 36 was scholars' paper, 36 papers. One sentence from each of them. And we take them experimental to see what happened to these variables in econometrics of the survey. Don't accept your students to say, I will use interview method, so we go and do interview. No. Let the student tell you why is it that he cannot use clinical trial in methodology. You need to know. Let the student knows, let you be satisfied that you know that this student is not using clinical approach, but he knows what clinical approach is all about. He knows the group method analysis and adoption and treatments. When our methodology is bad, our research outcome will be bad. Our paper will not be publishable. When I wrote my first book, my PhD thesis, it was, I'm saying it publicly now, it was accepted for publication by University of Oxford. And they said they will pay 3% royalty. I ran away. University of Cambridge said they will pay 4% royalty. I ran away. Mark Miller gave me 60% royalty. I stayed there. You sell the book at £27 and you sell 7,000 copies and you get 60% of that money in 1 year. Abba. I don't need anybody to build me my own apartment. If I'm a professor teaching here, I'll ask Vice Chancellor to give me land, build my own, and I'm still going to consult on mega projects across the world beyond the teaching that I'm doing here. You can't be poor. Profs, there's no reason. You are no business with poverty. You have no, and the student will respect you more when you are made. And this is very, very important. So if you set up a methodology center, the student will now go there and learn about methodology. It is when the methodology in the research can talk that the paper makes meaning to us. We have a 27 trillion budget, but we don't know any thesis that is talking about any aspect of our budget. The gap between executive and the academic is so wide. We need to close this gap. Why is ASU looking for money? There is money in the university, so plenty, sleeping wet. Why are you wasting your time traveling to Abuja to have a meeting with the executive? You can create your own money here, and they will have more respect for you. I urge you, Madam Vice Chancellor, I know you have been doing a lot, but I think we need to look at it from scientific angle of our methodology conceptualization to make sure that appropriate methodology is distilled to every phenomenon that we investigate in order for us to have a result that will attack solution to the society. One of the things I discovered in academics in my paper is that corruption is not the reason why mega project fails. But from 1960 to the time I wrote my thesis, professors have been saying that once you spot corruption in any mega project, the project must fail. But what I discovered for the first time uniquely is that corruption is not the reason why a mega project fails. I'm not saying go and be corrupt. I asked Babangida, I said, but there is corruption in Third Mainland Bridge project. The fact that you are waiting for $1 billion without any audit and all that, he said, Ibrahim, understand one thing. If I don't give them that $1 billion, we won't have Third Mainland Bridge today. Do you know what it means now if we are to build Third Mainland Bridge? Late Akure of blessed memory did the Ore Bridge for about 4 billion naira. The baton of success was handed over in Ore between Biafra and Nigeria. But if we didn't do Ore Bridge at $4 billion at that time, assuming we have to do it now, how much do you think Ore Bridge will cost us now? So I want to say, as a matter of conclusion, I've given those areas where you should have the respite, what to do as a university to make sure that problem is solved, what the young ones should do. To the young student, I need to give you one advice before I go. Even if you study your BSc in anything, you can go for your master's in mega project and infrastructural development. I did LLB law. When I started practicing law, the money they make in law is not sufficient for me. It's not something I can rely on. I like money a lot, and I don't joke about it. I'm not a government official. I've never worked with government. So I do my own job, and money is very, very important to me. So I left LLB law to go and do MPA, Masters in Public Administration. Then I started running seminars and conferences for public officers. Make some hundreds of billions. It wasn't sufficient for my mouth. My mouth is too big for those small money. I ran away from there, and I went to Harvard to go and do Masters in Tax Law. See, from law to public admin to taxation. That was when I consulted for IMF in Croatia and Bangladesh and many other countries. Good money coming in, not enough. I ran away from there to go and do Masters in Mega Project in Oxford. Good money, we are still enjoying it. Probably not too enough. I went to go and do MBA in Cambridge, Master of Business Administration. And I finished that to do PhD in mega projects. And while in Cambridge, I felt not much work done there. I can still have free time. I went to Buckingham to go and do the PhD in modern war studies. While that was going on, I was doing BSc International Relations at London School of Economics, which I completed last year. So, to you students, don't say that when you finish the first degree, life has started. You have to learn how to put more. I told my children, particularly my daughter, no marriage in which I will attend without a PhD. Your mother can attend, no problem. You have not committed any offense. But for me to be there for you on that day, give me a PhD before you disappear. To my boys, I told them very clearly, yes, you are doing your BSc or LLB. If you come home with a 2-1, I will congratulate you. If you come home with a first class, I will attend your graduation, and you have a 50,000 prize for that from me, US dollar. If you make a first class, I'll give you $50,000. It's an encouragement, isn't it? As successfully today, as encouragement to many of you over there, I'm proud to say clearly, if it's a pride, or if I'm proud about it, strongly proud about it, I have produced 3 first-class holders. So the boy made first class, his brother made first class, another one made first class. Everybody wants to draw $50,000, isn't it? So go make first class and come and collect $50,000. You make 2-1, well done. Nothing for you. 2-2. Are you still in this house? Third class, never return. Let's be honest. If you don't have if you have a first class and you are applying for a job, you don't need interview. A 21-year-old boy, one of my children, made a first at the court to buy in London 2 weeks ago. And he asked me a question. I didn't mention your name, so don't blame me when I get home. Now, he asked me a question at 12 midnight. He said, Daddy, what about marriage? I said, how can you marry? You are 21-year-olds. How will the woman give you food? What do you know about marriage? Don't let us talk about marriage now. I know you made a first class, but you are 21. How can you marry at 21? I will advise you, let us talk about this when you are 25. Good room for masters and PhD. If you don't do these degrees, young boys, and you do politics, you will regret. When you do these degrees I mentioned, you will control the politicians of tomorrow, and you have your way. Having said all of this, once again, my great pleasure to be here to talk about abandoned projects. People say, why do you talk about abandoned projects? But we saw most of your petrol stations abandoned. I laugh. That is business case studies. That's not an abandoned project. And at another day when I come to talk to the business students, we'll talk more about this. We take one by one our company, and you see what we have done with them. I look forward sincerely to the Vice Chancellor, and I'm very happy that we have a Pro-Chancellor who is a senator, a professor, maybe the first and the only woman in Nigeria that will be a senator and a professor at the same time. We really have them. And I can tell you, Madam Vice Chancellor, she will give you all the corporations. I'm not saying other tribal violence. No, I'm not saying that. But from the north, they are very good, jolly fellow to work with. You will enjoy her. She's going to give you all support. And because she's a renowned, erudite professor, all proposals when you give to her, she can sign off without even governor's meeting. Because she knows they are very good and she will defend them. So you have everything working for you. And Nigeria government is ready to help the youth with the scholarship money, with all you can draw down today. The future is in your hand. Look at it boldly and make sure you have the right result. Don't forget, should you advise anybody about mega projects, talk about cost overrun, schedule delay, and benefit shortfall. We more problem one way or the other. I started with good morning to Madam Vice Chancellor. I think I can say good afternoon, Madam Vice Chancellor. I have my seat. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Please be seated, sir. Another round of applause for our distinguished senator, Senator Jimoh Ibrahim. Please be seated. Thank you all. I was tempted to say Senator Professor Jimoh Ibrahim. He has distinguished himself truly as a distinguished senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. We thank you so much, distinguished senator. Thank you for opening our eyes to some of the things that will help us as a university, but more importantly, is going to help us as a nation. I believe there are several take-home points in what he has said. For us as a university, I'm happy today because some of the people who will take up these charges are here. We have the Dean of the School of Postgraduate Studies here present, and I'm sure he's taking notes. We also like to say that last year, the university started the School for Professional Development because we also know that there are so many professions that we need to upscale the skills of Nigerians to meet the needs of now. And I believe that the school is also going to take on some of these challenges, and by God's grace, we will be part of the solution to the Nigerian problems. Because I am of a firm belief that our solution must be indigenous to serve us better. Thank you very much, sir. Distinguished audience, we would like to take one or two comments on the lectures. Please, for the want of time, we don't want to take another lecture. We just want to take comments. So we will allow about two persons. If you have comments, can you please signify by show of hand? I asked for show of hands. Somebody is already showing body. No problem. We have seen you, Professor Fashola Baku, our council member, and Professor Ojo, also from the School of Logistics and Innovation Technology. I've seen those two, and I can also see the representative of the alumni worldwide. And I think with those three, there's a student somewhere. Okay, we will start with our students because they are our today and they are our tomorrow. Please, we will take the 4 questions in quick succession, and then our distinguished professor will respond.
Okay, because of time, I would like to stand on the already established protocol. My name is Adeyeye Kehinde Lovelin. Going through or listening to the lecture, sir, I have a few questions to ask. Before I go to my question, I think now I have a very deep knowledge and understanding about mega projects and some of the problems we are facing currently in Nigeria than before. So, and that is why I'll be asking these questions. During the course of the lecture, sir, you mentioned that in some other countries we have some mega projects that even after commissioning, they did not function or they did not keep functioning. And my question in that part is that what are the likely factors why these mega projects, even after being established and commissioned, and knowing fully well their benefits, they still did not keep functioning? Also, we have some, apart from mega projects, I believe we have other projects that are not as big as mega projects, and they still serve some little or more benefits as well. So in Nigeria today, we have some other projects that are not as large as mega projects that has been abandoned. Some even got to the point of commissioning. People start working there, and with time, they went down. For example, I think I've been hearing of Oluwa Glass, something like that, and in other communities in Nigeria too. So can we now say one of the factors you mentioned, which is benefit shortfall over and over again, can it be a factor contributing to why some of these institutions or some of these companies built up later went down? Also, so you mentioned that this is
you were to ask only one question. You are asking 3.
Oh, sorry.
So the final one, please say it quickly.
All right, but this is the last one. Universities part now. The university will create departments and award degrees on mega projects. But so my question is this: now the university has the full knowledge. How do we let the generation that is coming, like how do they get full access to, why they need to put in for courses in mega projects? Because the first thing is their interests. The university has a role to play. They too, they have a major role to play because they have to have an interest before they can put in for this course. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman of the lecture. When I saw the topic, abandoned mega project, I thought we are coming here to discuss mega corruption by mega people. So on getting here, I realized from your book that you put up some statistics, you use some factor analysis and logistic regression to capture what should be considered as factors that will be responsible for this. But importantly, I want to say, going by the book of Plato, the last one that he wrote, The Laws, that talks about a just society. My point is that if you have a just society, we won't abandon projects, whether small or mega. That we should do more on that. And how do we do that? Because from the solution to getting a just society, this thing was situated under 3 institutions. One is education. So that's why we can come to the university and talk about probably the pedagogy, of the oppressed, according to Paulo Freire, 1968, that can change the way our products. Thank God our students are here. These are our products. They should not only be a deposit or bank of knowledge, as we have to do, but they should be able to come up with critical thinking. They should be able to challenge the status quo. why are these mega things failing? What can we do? Judiciary has also failed. We can't talk of going to the judiciary to prosecute those who are responsible for failure of a mega project, because we know that judiciary is also another institution in the hands of the ruling class. So I'm not asking a question, but I'm trying to suggest that we can go beyond a day lecture in a year. Let's encourage unions to be organizing public lectures where we can discuss our problems and find solutions to them, especially this mega corruption by mega people. Thank you very much.
The last one.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. I am Professor O.J. Ojo from the Department of Project Management Technology, FUTA here, the present head of department. And I am a professor of project management and construction project management, in which you discussed here. The mega project you discussed, that one is under construction project management. The Boko Haram kind of a thing you mentioned, that one is under project management. Sir, your book, which you published in December 2021, you, Jimoh Ibrahim, Christophe Lodge, and Christophe Segomta, how mega projects are damaging Nigeria and how to fix it, a practical guide to mastering very large government projects. Well, I have the book. The book has 13 chapters, 229 pages. Now, chapter 4, you described 38 mega projects. You have done well. Very good. Now, what I want to say, May this year, you moved a motion, which was right. You referred to Goodluck Jonathan. Then, the present president, the motion you moved, it was accepted. Then, the Senate president organized ad hoc committee to go and work on that those 11,866 projects. Then he mentioned you are one of them. Then he gave you duration for the project. Then
Please ask your question, Prof.
now the question is this. The question is this. The project we are doing at times, we don't follow the methodology. There's what we call project input, project output. In between the two, there's project activities. When the Senate president said that he gave you 4 months to do the work, we don't give duration like that. There are some criteria that we give us the duration, which is critical part. Sir, the 11,866 projects, how are we going to get the data for it? The type, very, very important, and the source of the data.
Thank you very much, Prof. The alumni.
Our guest lecturer of today, you did justice to the topic. Thank you very much, sir. Looking at your lecture, why are university done not carry along on our mega project? We have our professor that they are experts in some areas, and if they want to establish committee on any mega project, I don't see university done among them. Then you've been talking about mega project. There is no university mega project in Nigeria, the ongoing mega project. So government should consider university environment for mega project and consider our professors in setting up committee on any project in Nigeria. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. The Vice Chancellor has permitted me to sit, but let me go there and just do it in 5 minutes. We have 4 questions here, and the first one from the students center on why the mega project not working, and of course she talked about Oluwa Glass and how does the university move forward. That is the problem with mega projects. It's close to the story of 6 blind men they gather them together. You bring an elephant and say, each of you touch elephant and move to this place. Then the blind man, one of them, touched the nose of the elephant and said, how will you describe an elephant? He said, elephant is a fan that blows air. The other one touched the leg of the elephant. He says, elephant is a tree. The third one touched the side of the elephant. He says, elephant is a wall, like the wall of the house. 6 of them gave 6 different descriptions of what an elephant is, but none of them described an elephant. Oluwa Glass, at the conceptualization of that project, you know that your engine room, the burner, must work 24 hours. The government still go ahead to sign off on the project, and they got contractor to build the factory. And the burner started working, and the glass were produced. Suddenly, electricity failure came in. The burner stopped working. In mega projects, there is what we call non-risk and unknown risk. The unknown risk is for you to know at that stage that there might be no electricity to power the burner. And if that happens, how will the glass production continuity be sustained? You must have a register at the site, a mega project, where you distill and write out all your known risk. Then the unknown risk must be there. The more of the unknown risk you can know, the better chance of a mega project getting to success. Maybe when Dangote was doing refinery, he probably thought that he would just knock on the federal government and they get the crude supply in 2 minutes. Maybe he thought everybody would be excited and be celebrating that we have a refinery in Nigeria. But the second question to ask is, what if government didn't give you crude? How will you survive? Non-risk and unknown risk before you drive out. You need to know that mega project, and I think it's the reason why Oluwa Glass went down there. Now, let me not waste time and move to your question about how will the university move forward. The Vice Chancellor is to look at this very critically. The Chancellor is to set up a committee to move to Oxford to go and understudy how mega project courses are delivered. The Pro-Chancellor is a professor. The Vice-Chancellor writes a memo to the Pro-Chancellor. Pro-Chancellor approves. 5, 6 people are set up to go, or 4, or 3, or 7. According to the university funding, they arrive there, they get in touch with me, I link them up to who to talk to. And then the project starts. How would the university professor have knowledge to teach mega projects? A professor from any of the professors down here can decide to take a career in mega project tomorrow. And in 6 months, he will just be as good as if he had started 30 years ago. Because professors can easily change their field without difficulties. It's just understanding some basic principle. 6 months is enough. And you see, maybe we'll not even find him or hire again. Because if he had finished and is teaching mega project here for 1 year, I'm sure one company in Dubai will have taken him away with a $500,000 offer per year if I not find him a footer again, though he started from footer. This is where we can move things forward, but because they love for country, they might decide to stay and continue because they can also consult and still be making that income without necessarily moving out to those countries. The second question is on mega corruption and mega people. Unfortunately, I don't know about this. I am not a corrupt person. I don't give bribe and I don't accept bribe. When Buhari was there, I sent a text to him. And I'm happy that I'm talking on live television now. Because this program is broadcasted live. You're probably on board listening. I said, sir, you are 6 months old. I'm your friend. You have seen the list of corrupt Nigerians that you want to kill their companies or take them over. I am not one. Read your security memo. Have you ever seen me being arrested by AFCC or ICPC or police? I've done 35 years in business. There may be mega people, mega fraud. My companies are not dependent on government. I don't accept and I don't do any contract from government. It's a principle. I will not do. When Akure was there, I gave money to the government rather than collecting contract from the government. Not because I have, but because I don't want any issues around me. So I have nothing, practically nothing to do with the mega people that are megally corrupt. But like you've rightly said, judiciary, if you read my book, Prof, you will find out there that I did recommend special courts for people that make mega project impossible to deliver. So that trial can be fast and judgment can be pronounced. I also recommended special police force for police to be able to know how to arrest and what question to ask somebody who eats mega project money. Because you may not know how to ask him question and he will just disappear. You have to know mega projects as a policeman before you can investigate corruption of Ajakuta. Otherwise, you go there and come back and you find nothing. I cannot but agree with you that those problems you mentioned might occur. They might be there. But with specialist knowledge in mega projects, they are likely going to disappear when we start getting serious. Professor Ojo talked about, thank you for reading my book. The two gentlemen added to my book there, they were my supervisors. So my main supervisor and my minor supervisor. My main supervisor was Professor Christopher Lodge, and Supari was my minor supervisor, Professor of Operational Management in Cambridge. And because it's my thesis, and I had to publish it, and I can never deny that I got very good knowledge from them, I approached them and I said, can they be co-author? And they accepted and they put their name there. So that's why we have this, their names there. Yes, what we have said is true. Input projects and output in project management. Yes, if you want to put in that you get, that's what you are trying to say. But if you look at the Crossrail project in the UK, which was to cost £814 million, but eventually cost £18 billion, and it's not yet fully delivered. A project was to cost £800 million, but we have spent £18 billion of taxpayers' money, and it has not been delivered. The MD was asked to come to National Assembly, to the Parliament in Britain, and the Parliament asked him a question: why is it? Tell me what you need to deliver this project. He said he doesn't know what he needs. All he knows, he can resign tomorrow if the Parliament so wish. 3 previous MD have resigned. The project has not delivered. Project schedule day for commissioning have shifted more than 20 times. When people blame Dangote for shifting project day, I laugh. In England, commissioning of Crossrail projects have been shifted more than 20 times. That is mega project for you. You keep explaining, and it never happened. So, as far as we are concerned, we have to look at it differently. And you know what the author said, what the MD said? One of the parliamentarians said, should we give you a blank check? So that we know that money is not the problem. Bank of England blank check. He said, yes, you can bring a blank check, or we spend it, maybe it will be delivered, maybe not. And if you see where payment is being made, you will be sorry for it. But once that project is delivered, it will liberate so many things in England. And now I think they are almost getting to the completion stage for delivery of that important project. I think that's what Professor Uju talked about, and he talked about what else again? Yeah, he talked about project not carried to conclusion and environment for mega project. Yeah, as a matter of fact, we have a lot of ecosystem But like the other prof said, it's not a one-day business. If not for my love for the Vice Chancellor and the university, I will never give this lecture. I can tell you that. To give this lecture, I will charge a minimum of $50,000. I will do 1 hour. I will crack joke for 20 minutes. Deliver for 15 minutes, question for 20 minutes. And you'll be very happy and you go home and think something has been delivered. But this lecture has been complete concentration of all you want to know basically on mega project. And I think it's well delivered, to the test. We don't do it. Our professors in Oxford and Cambridge, you cannot find them. One of our major professors in mega projects, Bent, a student applied for PhD and they give him to Professor Bent to supervise him. And he was very excited that Ben Flagbart will be the one to supervise him for his PhD. So we started. This guy is my colleague. He's lecturing in Oxford now. Then he was to graduate in 3 years. PhD is 3 years in Oxford. In Cambridge is 4 years. Now, 3 years has come for this guy to graduate, and the postgraduate dean asked him to make submission and thesis in relation for qualifying exams. They asked him one simple question. How many times have you seen your supervisor? He said once. The day he was admitted is the day he saw Bent. That was the last time he saw Bent. So you have to start all over again because you have not seen your supervisor for 3 years. Bent was never available to supervise anybody. He's consultant to many, many projects. If you're an expert in mega project, don't you know you can consult for Julius Berger? Don't you know you can consult for Ministry of Works? Mention many projects in Nigeria, you can be consultant to those projects to see whether they will succeed or they will fail. My own area of specialization is methodology of mega projects. What method do you use to make sure that this project is delivered? That's it. I don't know about risk management. That's not my own area. Those who study risk in mega projects, they will tell you about non-risk and the non-risk and what to do to close your books on those. That's not my area. My area is method. Why do you think clinical approach cannot be used, to distill to your phenomenon in terms of methodology what you want to do to get your thesis to talk as an oracle? That's my own area. So different areas, different level, and of course, don't let me talking about mega people, mega corrupt people don't succeed. They find their own problem as they go on in life. They can succeed shortly, but look at it at the end of the day, where are they? They don't succeed. So let's concentrate on these children sitting down here, how they can finish, or this guy sitting down here, or this man sitting, or this, whatever you call yourself, but fantastic people sitting down here. How they can succeed. How somebody can study BSc botany and cross to mega projects and use scientific knowledge as a wonderful innovation in mega projects. I don't know mathematics. To study regression analysis and calculate p-value and r-square, I almost went to hell. But today, I can do it very perfectly. You are an expert in mathematics. You will solve the problem better than me and faster than me. And that will be very good. So we need many of you. Some of you are good in leadership or mega projects. I'm a dominant leader. I'm not a collaborative leader. I have no regret for it. Because dominant leaders are no better than collaborative. Collaborative leaders are no better than dominant. As a matter of fact, in developing countries for mega projects, you need dominant leader to succeed. Collaboration have no leadership. We collaborate to do what? So there are different areas, but those who are experts in leadership, like Professor Victor Olaleye, who is very good in collaboration, will tell you is the best. Maybe it will never work in Ajakuta. So different areas, and you have unique advantage. And lastly, your strengths are your advantages. Your weaknesses are the best thing you can talk about in future. So pick them rightly and work with them. Let's have good knowledge, qualified knowledge, and we get this project delivered. Without university I'm building in my hometown, it's a mega project. The young lady read my citation. I talked about the fact that 76 buildings were completed in the university. No. We have 183 buildings in the university. 182 are completed out of 183. How do you do that in 4 years? Because of mega project knowledge. Otherwise, the university would have failed. It's not about that you have money. Money is never a problem in mega projects. What is the problem is knowledge. That is why we need the professors that are here to help us solve the problem. It's not money we are looking for in mega project. What we are looking for in mega project is knowledge. That is what is not available. And if you don't have it, the project will fail. You talked about the fact that when project is completed, that they don't succeed. Yes, 10% of the project don't succeed because there are no skill to midwife the project. Take your rail project from Abuja to Kaduna. People are being kidnapped inside the railway. How do you think that happened? Because the people managing the rail projects are just quite illiterate. They have no knowledge of mega projects. We will build the mega projects, the locomotives are working, but the people managing it are not available. The university students are not trained about how to manage complex projects like the railways, how to prevent security issues in mega project management of running the railways. You spend billions in building the structure, but you spent 0,000 naira in training the people that will run the project. The project will not move. It will stand still. Thank you.
5 minutes. A round of applause for the distinguished senator. To this end, I would like to invite Akure cultural troops just for 5 minutes for the music interlude.
Anike ojú Olódùmarè kẹ́bọ̀ yá o àyà mọ́gulé o. Oyeye o àyà mọ́gulé. Àgbí ọmọ kálẹ̀ o. Àgbí ọmọ kálẹ̀ o. Ìjà múdà. Anike ojú Olódùmarè kẹ́bọ̀ yá o àyà mọ́gulé. Oyeye o àyà mọ́gulé. Bàmí àràbà mo kí o. Bàmí Jimoh Ibrahim o. Wọ́n lọ màmá gbànyẹ́já. Òṣòro mo wí kí mi ya kìí á lọ o. Òṣòro ọmọ ọlọ́jà ó fẹ̀. Àràbà lílọ́kọjọ àràbà lọ. Anike ojú Olódùmarè kẹ́bọ̀ yá o àyà mọ́gulé. Oyeye o àyà mọ́gulé. Ore oyè mọ̀yàgbé. Ọ̀nà ẹ̀wáyé màálù gbàrà sọ wá o. Ore oyè mọ̀yàgbé. Àràbàlẹ̀ lámò kí ọ. Òṣòro ọmọ ọlọ́jà ó fẹ̀. Àràbàlẹ̀ láò mú ojúre o. Àràbàlẹ̀ láò rírẹ̀ mọ̀ yẹyẹ o. Àkàrà lòlẹ̀ o, mọ́dàgòdè mo ṣe kàre o. Bàmí òṣòro ọmọ ọlọ́jà. Àràbà lílá kọjú àràbà lọ. Àwẹ̀ kàró lulẹ̀ o, mọ́dà kò dé mo ṣe kàró. Olùlẹ̀ ibi ká o, olùlẹ̀ ibi ká o, olùlẹ̀ ibi ká o. Odidi ọmọ rẹ̀ odidi ọmọ o, aráyé wa wò odidi ọmọ o, odidi ọmọ rẹ̀ odidi bámi àràbà, aráyé wa wò odidi ọmọ rẹ̀ odidi ọmọ. Yemi Adenike, aráyé wa wò odidi ọmọ o. Odidi ọmọ rẹ̀ odidi ọmọ o. Aráyé wa wò odidi ọmọ o. Aráyé wa wò odidi ọmọ. Odidi ọmọ rẹ̀ odidi ọmọ o. Aráyé wa wò odidi ọmọ o. Orí wo ye mo ye gbé, ọ̀nà ìwáyé dúbọ̀ rúgbà rẹ̀ ò gbà rẹ̀ sọ́wọ́ o. Ọ̀nà ìwáyé dúbọ̀ màlúgbà ò gbà rẹ̀ sọ́wọ́ o. Ọ̀nà ìwáyé dúbọ̀ rẹ̀ má sà ò gbà rẹ̀ sọ́wọ́ o. Ọ̀nà ìwáyé dúpẹ́ rẹ̀ mọ́ sá o, gbà rẹ̀ sá wá o. Ọmọ lògùn ṣe jẹ́jẹ́, ọmọ lògùn ṣe jẹ́jẹ́. Bàmí Dọ́tà Ibrahim, àràbà ọmọ ọlọ́jà, àràbà tó ju àràbà lọ. Òṣòro ọmọ ọlọ́jà mà ṣe o. Òṣòro ọmọ alájà máa ṣe o. Amálògùn ṣe jẹ́jẹ́. Amálògùn ṣe jẹ́jẹ́. Amálògùn ṣe jẹ́jẹ́. Amálògùn ṣe jẹ́jẹ́.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, please. Thank you. Thank you very much. To the extent, I would like to invite the Vice Chancellor to make a presentation to our guest lecturer. Yes.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, what can be more honorable? I stand here this afternoon to present this award and appreciation to our own distinguished Senator Dr. Jimoh Ibrahim, OFR, CFR, a distinguished senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria representing Ondo South Senatorial District. Is our guest lecturer at the 2024 Foundation Day Lecture of the Federal University of Technology, Akure. Distinguished Senator, sir, on behalf of our university, we present this to you.
Thank you.
Don't worry.
You may return to your seat, sir.
Thank you very much. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it is customary to recognize some distinguished persons amongst us. Today in our midst, we have, like we said earlier on, our own Pro-Chancellor, also a distinguished professor and Senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Senator Professor Nora Dadut. Thank you very much, Ma, for joining us. She's here with all other members of the Governing Council of FUTA. Today we also have with us Chief Sanya Onyisa, is a member of the FUTA Akure Partnership. Thank you, sir, for joining us. Please, this recognition is in no particular order. Please, we have with us today Dr. Afolabi Adeyekun. He's a retired permanent secretary in Ondo State. Thank you, sir, for being with us today. We also have Dr. Isaac Akimoladun. He's the CEO, Isaac Investment. Dr. Isaac Akimoladun, thank you for being here with us. Thank you, sir. We have today also Senator Yele Omogua. He's a former senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Senator Yele Omogua, thank you very much for coming. We have with us Professor Taiwo Omobuwajo from the Obafemi Awolowo University. He's one of us. Thank you very much, Professor, for coming. We have with us today Honorable Akimbola Nicholas. Honorable Akimbola Nicholas, thank you for being part of this event. He's a senior legislative aide to the Deputy Senate President. We also have with us Omoba Abayomi Adesoya, also a senior special advisor to the Senate President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you for coming to the soil of the Federal University of Technology, Akure. We have with us Engineer Ade Aworetan Junwa. It says it's Osawa President. Thank you very much for coming. We also have Engineer Folakemi Omogunoye. I think he's also, thank you, madam, for coming. Dr. Shegun Ayodele, Barrister Adewale Sunday. Barrister, thank you very much. Dr. Samuel Alaba Akiwolu. Thank you very much. Mr. Henry Akitelure. Thank you, sir, for joining us. Mr. Cornelius Owolewa. Thank you, Mr. Cornelius. Mrs. Idowu Osatunye. Sorry, I murdered your name. Mrs. Oluwakemi Adeyokun. Thank you, ma'am, for being here. We also have with us Comrade Odofin Oluwafemi. Is it comrade or commander? Odofin Oluwafemi. Thank you very much for coming. Today we have with us the CSP, Suleiman Joka, is the DPO, Okuta Ilerinla Police Station. She's our neighbor and this is our territory. Thank you, ma, for serving us well in FUTA. We have Dr. Samuel Ibitoye, is the sector commander of the FRSC, Ondo State. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us. We have members of the Senator Jimoh Ibrahim Asheyori team. If you are a member, please wave your hand and let us know you. Thank you for supporting our distinguished senator. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we have with us members of the senior members of the university community, our former principal officers, serving directors, also joining us here today, but for want of time, we will not be mentioning them one after the other. Before we go, I'd like to recognize the most important groups of people here with us today. Great Futarians, you are the most important and you are the best.
Can we double the applause for our Vice Chancellor? After the procession has moved out of the auditorium, all students who are here should sit at the blue seats by my left. We have information for you. If you are a student of this university and you have been privileged to grace this occasion, kindly relocate after the procession has left the auditorium. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, may I invite us to rise for the futa as well as the national anthems of Nigeria.
Of the Vice Chancellor leaves the auditorium, we will remain standing.